The Southern Kentucky community is remembering a husband, father, and coach killed in a tragic crash in Scott County.
A murder victim's mother is holding the parents of those who pleaded guilty responsible too. We're talking with Anita Franklin about today's sentencing.
We'll show you what Keeneland and Breeders' Cup leaders are doing for security to make sure everyone attending the big event stays safe.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening. They've been dealing with a devastating loss this week, but tonight family members of 4 people who died in a fire want to thank the community for their support.
Lori Doppelhauer Kearney and 3 of her children died when their home in Maysville caught fire Tuesday morning. This afternoon, Monique Blair talked to Kearney's sister in Pulaski County, where the family is from. She's live now with our top story at 6. Monique?
Well, Sam and Amber, Kimberly Doppelhauer tells me her sister Lori Doppelhauer absolutely loved her children. She says she was just a good person who has impacted the lives of so many people. Kimberly says she reached out to us today because she just wanted to say thank you to the outpouring of support her family has received during this time. Now, very early Tuesday morning, Lori Doppelhauer and her boyfriend were inside their home in Maysville with their combined 5 children when a fire broke out. Lori's boyfriend and one of his daughters and Lori's daughter Michaela made it out of the home. Lori also made it out of the home, but then she realized her 3 sons, ages 10, 3, and 20 months, were not out of the home yet, so she went back inside to get them. Lori and her 3 sons did not make it out of the burning home. Now, Lori's sister Kimberly says this has been the hardest few days of her and her family's lives, but she is thankful to the extreme outpouring of support and kindness she has felt from people all over the world this week.
Matter of fact, one came today from France. Her story is nationwide, and we can't begin to thank the people for just their support and their love, and to know that she's touched so many people, and that they're letting us know that their hearts are just full of sorrow.
Laura is survived by her 7-year-old daughter, Michaela. I'm reporting live in Pulaski County. Monique Blair, WKYT.
Monique, thank you. Visitation for the family is tomorrow at 6 at Southern Oaks Funeral Home in Somerset. The funeral service is Sunday at 2 at the funeral home. The burial will be in the Camp Nelson National Cemetery.
Today, 3 young men who admitted playing roles in the shooting death of a Lexington man learned their punishment. Police say the victim, Antonio Franklin, was killed when he got caught in the crossfire of a gunfight last year in Duncan Park. Our Kristen Kennedy talked to the victim's mother after today's sentencing.
Anita Franklin wasn't pleased during sentencing for the 3 men who admitted to playing a role in her son Antonio's death.
With the way our legislative system and our laws are created, I'm thankful that we were able to even get anything.
She feels they should have to serve more time in prison. William Dixon and Brian Brown pleaded guilty to charges that put them in jail for 2 years. Nasheem Dixon pleaded guilty to manslaughter, wanton endangerment, and criminal attempt charges that have him serving an 11-year sentence.
What about Antonio? He will never be able to come home.
Between time served in jail and home incarceration, both William Dixon and Brian Brown have served out their sentences. Franklin didn't think that either one gave her a sincere apology in court.
Did they apologize today, or did their attorneys apologize for them? And that is the question.
Franklin thinks the parents of the 3 should be held accountable for what happened as well.
When I look at Mr. Dixon, and Mr. Brown, I know they're just children.
Since her son's death, she's worked relentlessly to promote accountability and to stop teen violence. In Lexington, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
A 4th person, 17-year-old Damian Sanders, was already sentenced to 7 years for second-degree manslaughter. New tonight, a Fayette County judge has set a trial date for a man accused of killing his girlfriend. The trial for Paris Charles is now scheduled to begin March 7th. He's charged with murder. Lexington police say he killed Goldia Massey last fall at his home on Chatsworth Drive. Police say they later found the victim's severed arms and torso along the banks of the Kentucky River in Jessamine and Henry counties.
A stretch of sunny and warm fall weather is about to come to an end. The weekend is looking wet and windy. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look at your forecast. Just sounds messy, too.
Yeah, it does. We're going to have to dust off the umbrella and actually find the umbrella before we can dust it off. It's been a little while since we've had to use it, though the clouds are increasing across the region as we speak. Defender calm and quiet still across the region until we get into western Kentucky. A little rain now being reported into far western parts of the Bluegrass State. That'll continue to develop and work a little farther toward the east. Nice little plume of juice coming out of the Ozarks, and that is aimed toward the Bluegrass State later tonight. Notice how our front is still well off to the west, so we'll see additional showers and thunderstorms developing out ahead of that front as we go into the next couple of days. That's what impacts our weather for the weekend. What is going to impact our weather by the middle of next week is a powerhouse of a hurricane that is coming ashore right now into Mexico. At one point, this was the strongest hurricane ever recorded in our part of the world. And again, that will set its sights on the Gulf of Mexico with whatever's left of that, and a lot of the computer models follow those little squiggly lines. Take that into parts of the Ohio Valley by the middle of next week. So the focus of the forecast is on, yes, some rain this weekend, but on a bigger storm threat as we go into next week, courtesy of this Pacific hurricane. Yes, we're talking about what is left of a Pacific hurricane impacting your weather in Kentucky in just a few minutes.
Chris, thank you. Tonight we are learning more about what investigators say led to a deadly officer-involved shooting in Knott County. State police say they received a call about a man with a gun and threatening to shoot people who came near his home. When police showed up, they say that man, 53-year-old Stephen Brock, refused demands to show his hands. They say they shot and killed Brock after he threatened a state trooper's life, then made an aggressive motion towards him. Neighbors say Brock had caused problems before.
When he was walking up through here threatening and stuff, which is he'd done it times before, but it was like this time it was scary.
Police say they have not determined if Brock had a gun. The troopers involved in the shooting have been placed on administrative assignment. We're tracking the investigation into a shooting in Clay County. Sheriff's deputies say they arrested Bobby Sizemore and charged him with assault. They say he shot a family member in the leg during an argument in the Horse Creek community. Investigators say the victim's injuries are not life-threatening.
Friends and family call him a loving husband and father. Tonight, they're remembering a Laurel County man who died in a crash while riding his motorcycle. Police say that 33-year-old Robert Griffin Jr. was killed last night not far from the Toyota plant in Georgetown where he worked. As Phil Pendleton tells us, Griffin was also known in the community as a former middle school football coach.
It's been said that the game of football is a lot like life. You get knocked down a lot, but you always get back up. Today, some in Laurel County are feeling like life has dealt them a cruel blow with the loss of coach, husband, and father, Robert Griffin Jr.
It's a lesser place today. The world's a lesser place.
Griffin coached middle school football, but he was not a classroom teacher.
He was a guy that the kids remember. I mean, when you look back at your school careers, there's certain teachers, certain coaches who had impacts, and you remember them years later. And he'll be one of those people.
He was an excellent coach because I'm told that he truly knew how to reach kids, and he taught them to value what they did over here in the classroom. Griffin leaves behind a wife of 16 years and 2 twins who'll turn 13 Monday. But this coach proved to be much more than a coach to many on his teams.
He was a father to his kids, but in many other kids, he was a father figure too.
His wife sent us a statement saying that Griffin was a good man, a hard-working man, a man that loves life and adored his family. He lived for me and our children. Many are saying he lived and worked for them as well in Laurel County.
And it's like we've lost family member today.
Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Heartbreaking. Police say a SUV turned in front of Griffin's motorcycle, causing the crash. They have not said if the driver of that SUV will face charges.
New tonight, a Lexington man accused of embezzling more than $8 million from his employer has pled guilty. As part of a plea deal, James Hammis pled guilty to a wire fraud count, and the government dropped all other charges against him. He also agreed to pay restitution. Hammis was arrested in May in Virginia, 6 years after being indicted. Police say Hammis embezzled the money while working as the controller for the Lexington branch of a Pepsi bottler.
Tonight, a Lexington man continues to recover after falling more than 40 feet from a cliff in the Red River Gorge. Rescue crews say that 24-year-old Logan Smith was hiking with a group of friends when he fell near the Osborne Bend Trail in Menifee County. It took almost 4 hours for them to reach Smith and bring him to safety. He was taken to UK Hospital. His father says he had surgery today for his injuries, and at last check, Smith was listed in fair condition.
We are now just 1 week away from the Breeders' Cup at Keeneland, and in the coming days, thousands of people will be coming to Lexington for the big event.
Both Keeneland and Breeders' Cup leaders are taking extra precautions to make sure all those fans stay safe. New at 6, Victor Puente looks at security preparations for the Breeders' Cup.
With a high-profile event like the Breeders' Cup, it's not just parking that's changing. A high amount of security is also expected. The CEO of Keeneland says they've spent the last 18 months planning for those 2 days.
With this being an international event, it's a little bit different than what our normal fans are used to at Keeneland.
That includes the security checks visitors will have to go through to enter the racetrack.
There'll be wanding and there'll be soft bag check as we're going in just to make sure.
Lexington and Kentucky State Police will be assisting Keeneland's security team. The publication Daily Racing Forum estimates 32,000 people will pass through these gates each day. And the Breeders' Cup wants to make sure the tickets they have are valid. They've done their best to make sure anyone buying tickets secondhand aren't getting counterfeits.
Breeders' Cup actually has a site within their site that allows you to sell back your tickets to make sure that you're getting the right tickets, so that if you're buying online and doing some sort of resale, Breeders' Cup actually has a resale provision.
And the tickets themselves are also a deterrent.
They are really hard to counterfeit, and we feel like the Breeders' Cup, between our ticketing staff, have taken every measure to ensure that that doesn't happen.
In addition to Keeneland security, Lexington Police and Kentucky State Police, Homeland Security will also be here during the Breeders' Cup. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
And add to all that, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, has also been consulted about the upcoming event. Volunteers are cleaning up Lexington's Douglas Park to get ready for a milestone.
During Douglas Days, volunteers are painting maintenance buildings and concession stands and clearing out vegetation on fences. They're preparing the park for its upcoming 100-year anniversary. Volunteers say it's important to make the park a welcoming place for everyone.
I think it sends a message to the community, and that may be the most important thing, that the parks are important. We want people to gather here. We want people to know they're safe. And having folks like police recruits and other organizations be willing to come and work in a park like this does send a message to the community.
The organizers of Douglas Days will plant 100 trees in honor of the park's 100-year anniversary next summer.
And you will find some tasty ideas for the kitchen tomorrow at the Lexington Center. The annual Kentucky Proud Incredible Food Show features cooking demonstrations, seminars, recipes, and more than 150 vendors. Carla Hall from the show The Chew will give 2 presentations. The food show booths will be open tomorrow from 9 to 5, and tickets are still available. We have more information on WKYT.com.